This degree is looking so shabby now.
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
This is bad. Like every corner is scuffed. I don't even know where half these scuffs even come from. This has like the build of like a 2005 Toyota Camry with 220,000 miles. That's what this thing is looking like right now. This is my degree. And I'm going to throw it this way because it needs to be hurt more. And this isn't my degree. Welcome to the show, where I give you a glimpse and backstage pass into the life of a full-time freelancer and content creator. And sometimes I get to hang out with cool people like...
me.
Who are you?
My name is Victoria Shipley. Are we doing first name, last name basis?
If you want to give your government name, that's fine. Like, we can go with that.
My name is Victoria Rose Shipley.
Oh, whoa, we went full... I am not sharing.
We can add in the maiden name in there too, make it real cool.
Okay.
So, it's Victoria Rose Migliazzo Shipley.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might need you to like spell that out like once we're done so I can make sure I get like the...
Perfect.
Because I'm going to mess that up. I can already tell.
Got it.
So like, okay. So we were talking a lot about like creativity, photography and stuff. So for those who don't know who you are, like give a glimpse into your life.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Like really?
So my 9 to 5, I do digital media. My part-time freelance work is wedding videography and photography. I've been married for 5.5 years. I got married at 19. Fun fact.
Okay.
I like to say I lived on an island for 2 years because that actually did happen.
Wait, you lived on an island?
Island. My dad was in the Air Force, so I moved around a lot growing up. And then by the time 2013, my dad retired from the Air Force. He was at Whiteman. And,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, Whiteman is near UCM where I went to school.
So after he retired there, my parents still live in small town Missouri, and I went to high school in Sedalia.
Good old Sedalia, home of the state fair.
Graduated with 25 people.
25?
So I went to a private school within Sedalia. Okay. So even smaller.
I was like 25.
Even smaller. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But it happens. Like, honestly, that's not uncommon for like a small town in Missouri.
No.
Like, shoot, I think if I would have stayed in my hometown, I think the graduating class would have been like maybe 10 people.
Stop.
Yeah, it was small.
And the bad thing about small town, small school, you know way too much about one another.
Oh my gosh.
Way too much. You don't need to know that much information about your other classmates.
It's because it's like you're unintentionally getting in everyone's business because like that's all that's going on.
Everyone's involved with one another and it's kind of just, you can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's really, it gets messy.
Yeah.
But like everybody knows each other's business. Like families are like, but like every time you leave your house, you're going to run into someone that you know.
Oh yeah.
Which is also like kind of cool because there's like that community aspect, but like it still has its perks and drawbacks, you know, small town life. So then when did you start going to like Kansas City, St. Louis? What was like your first big city experience?
Big city experience. So after high school, I graduated as a sophomore in college. I did a year of community college at State Fair. And then after that, got married, 19. My husband was in the Navy at the time. Okay. So we moved to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, snap.
Loved Jacksonville. Lived there for 3 years. That was kind of like my first introduction into like a bigger city vibe, apartment living. Graduated from University of North Florida. Got my communication degree because I couldn't decide what else I wanted to do. And I was like, well, I like a little bit of like social media, photography, learned Adobe, stuff like that.
Communication is kind of like the basis of everything too.
Exactly.
Like no matter what field you go in.
Exactly. And I was like, well, I'll just do this and I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
So after that, we stayed in Florida for another year. And then my husband decided to get out of the Navy. We didn't have a plan. It was probably 6 months to when he was getting out. And we kind of looked at one another and we were like, well, we don't want to go back to Missouri. Of course not.
We've just spent all this time in Florida. Why would we go back to Missouri?
We were like, we'll go East Coast, West Coast. Missouri will be the last place we revert back to.
It was like out of all the states, it was number 50.
Yes.
Like, we'll take Arkansas over.
I actually grew up in Arkansas. I would actually go back.
What? What? You know,
I have many layers.
the more that I do this podcast, the more I'm realizing so many people have ties to Arkansas. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What was it, near Bentonville by chance?
I grew up in Cabot, which is like 30 minutes south of Little Rock.
Arkansas. Maybe I'm sleeping on it, but anyways, so you were in Florida. You're like, we got to go to a coast.
Yep.
So how did you end up to the next destination?
So we were kind of in the space of like, we don't know what next step is. I was working remote. We had kind of talked about the idea of like, if we were to ever go back to Missouri, the only place I would want to go to is St. Louis because my entire family, they're from here.
Gotcha.
So I grew up coming to St. Louis every holiday, anything. It was always St. Louis. My dad's one of 9, my mom's one of 6, and I have 50 cousins in
50?
the St. Louis area, 50. So I knew that was like my solid ground to come back to.
50? Like more than your graduating class?
Correct.
Holy crap.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you, because you do like a lot of creative stuff now. How did that all start?
So I would say it kind of goes back to when I was younger. I was kind of like that artsy kid that would watch like YouTube videos. That's how I learned how to do makeup. YouTube videos. How I did. I mean, I was the one putting on like blue eyeshadow in 5th grade, but I thought I was like
You were
so
like,
cool.
I'm the trendsetter. I know what's going on here. Okay. Listen to me.
So I was always like more involved on the digital side of things. You know, the computer games, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So in high school, we had like a week-long period where we could job shadow. And I was like, well, I don't want to do anything in hospitality, anything like health-wise.
Yeah.
I'm going to shadow a photographer.
Oh.
So
How'd you find this photographer?
So it was my soccer coach's wife.
Okay.
She did photography full-time.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, I don't know what else I want to do. And I love photography. My mom always had her Pentax. She was always shooting with growing up. I was like, I don't know what else sounds interesting. Can I come shadow you? So I worked on Adobe for the full week. I had to give a presentation of how a camera works to my classmates.
Oh, that's so cool.
So after that, I was like, well, you know, at the time, didn't think I could do photography full time.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I need a like backup plan. So I got the communications degree. And I was like, well, I still want to do something like creative.
Yeah.
So I just would do like portrait photography for friends, family. But at our wedding, Jordan and I's wedding, we were trying to figure out how to cut cost. And we were like, we don't need a wedding videographer.
Oof.
I'm not kidding. To this day, that is our only regret we have about our entire wedding day is because we don't have any video footage.
You didn't have one at all?
We didn't have one at all. So, coming full circle, that's why the past year I was like, I'm really interested. I want to provide this to other people. I want to tell them how important it is because one day you're going to have family members that aren't with you anymore. And we both wish we had that video footage. Kind of talking about like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Our favorite thing is to look back on like home videos. Like there's nothing, and it doesn't even have to be like the super crisp quality. It's always the one that's like shaking.
Yeah.
But it's
like
the
real candid stuff. And
the
it's like, it doesn't even
candid-
have to be of anything like significant. It could
Right.
just be like y'all just chilling in the living room. But it's like, it brings back that memory of like, yeah, like this was what life used to be.
Right.
It's like I like to think of video as like a time capsule.
It is.
I mean, that's how I look at my YouTube channel. Like there are a lot of videos that like I don't even have like public anymore. It's just unlisted, but like I'll still go back and look at them sometimes because I'm like, I remember that day. I remember that event. And it's like whenever you talk to a lot of these couples, like a lot of them do agree. They're like, I wish we would have done like video, or like they just do photo. And like, they're like, I wish I would have had like more to remember that day. So it's like, it's cool that like you're looking at it from that angle where it's like, trust me, this is something you want, and I can do that for you.
Right. And that's usually what happens in my intro calls, is usually a bride is on the fence. They're not really sure if they want to have one, but they still want to have that conversation. And I'm point blank with them. You know, I wish I would have had one. It's not me pushing you if you want one, but I will say, if you don't have one in 5 years, you're going to wish you had one.
Yeah. You'll want to like look back at that stuff.
Right. Okay.
I want to hear about your first wedding, like the first one you shot, because I remember the first time I shot, or I didn't even shoot it, I second shot, and it was already like, oh, this is a lot. Like, weddings are different than like commercial work, because there's a lot more going on, a lot more moving pieces, a lot more people that you have to like wrangle up for content. Like, I want to hear about your first experience with a wedding shooting. Did you lead? Were you the second shooter?
I was the only one.
Oh, you were both.
No, so I didn't do the photo.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I would never agree to be the sole person.
Because I know some people that do that, and I'm like, they're like, I just survive on like 5 Red Bulls, and I just go for it. And I'm like,
and they do both photo and video?
Both. Like,
I have
they'll
a hot
have
take.
2 cameras like on each side, and then they'll be holding whatever one they're using, like one for stills, one that has like a telephoto lens on it, and then another that's like strictly video that's like got a 24-70 on it. And I'm like, you are actually like, they should do a study on you, because that is so crazy. But like, some people just do it. But like, no, that weddings are already like a lot.
Honestly, I think it's a disservice to the bride and groom. If you hire somebody that's doing both photo and video, you're going, and it's inevitable, you're going to miss out on moments.
Oh yeah.
Never hire somebody for both photo and video.
Seriously, and don't cheap out on it either.
No.
Like, don't just be like, oh, well, my cousin has a Canon Rebel T6i. Like, they could probably take some photos. Don't do that.
Teach their own.
Your first wedding.
Yes.
We could talk about all this. We'll get to this detail. But like, walk me through it.
Okay. So I had no idea what I was doing.
You just walked into it blind.
Walked into it blind, and I was like, you know what? Confidence is going to help me go through. Oh, did it? Because I didn't even have my mic plugged in the right way. So I didn't get any of the audio. The way, it's come full circle. Didn't have the audio plugged in the right way. It was a Sunday at like 3 p.m. There were about like 50 people.
Such an interesting time.
It was an interesting time. And it also was like interesting to try and like figure out the vibe of it all, because it was an afternoon wedding on a Sunday.
Yeah.
My mom actually came and she was like, do you want me to help you? Do you want me to like go and grab anything?
We love a supportive mom.
She's the best. And she was I was just like, you know what? If you just want to hang out with me, see how it goes, like keep me sane, because I'm like freaking out on the inside. No one knew that it was my first one. People were coming up and asking me like, what is your craziest wedding story?
And you were like, yeah, so many, like, there was just like this one, it was like insane. That
was literally me. And I was like, yeah, you know, like, can't tell you.
Like,
because I don't have any.
Like, it's a story that like, if I told you, you'd know, like, you know?
Yeah. But if I learned anything, it's you, even if you have imposter syndrome, just keep going. No one would know.
Sometimes like, putting on that mask of like, I've done this before works. Like my first couple shoots, like being hired to do stuff, I did the same thing. Yeah. Like I was totally like faking it. I'm like, I've done like, this has been like my thing for like 5 years now. Yeah. Like this is just another day in the life, you know? And I'm like, no, I'm sitting here trembling, holding the camera. Cause like, this is my first ever paid shoot. Yeah.
But I did it for dirt cheap. I wanted the experience, learned a lot.
What was like the biggest takeaway from that whole day?
Plug in your audio for one. Like, geez Louise.
Yeah. Don't plug it into the headphone jack. Plug it into the actual mic port.
Make sure it's working.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, make sure it sounds good.
Yeah.
Audio, it always sucks because like whenever you get back and review footage, if audio is bad, like if the image is like too dark or it's a little overexposed, that's salvageable. Mm-hmm. But like if the audio sucks,
yeah,
that's pretty much it. Do you do primarily weddings?
Yes, for video.
So like you started around when doing this stuff?
My first wedding was October 2022.
Oh, so it was like a year ago. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that means you've been doing this for about a year.
Yep.
Like as a side hustle?
Yep.
So what, kind of walk me through the past year then. Like I want to know how it, like we know how it started.
Right.
But like as time went on, like did you get more in your groove? Like talk about some of the like more exciting moments that were like, oh, this is cool. And like, but also give me like the nitty gritty. Okay. Give me the like the good, the bad, the ugly.
Okay. Yeah. So what's interesting is the first couple of weddings that I had after the first one mm-hmm. were the most expensive weddings that I've ever been at.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I had expressed to my one of 50 cousins that I was interested in doing wedding videography. And I was like, hey, putting myself out there, like if you know anybody that's kind of on the fence of not even having one, mm-hmm. like I'll do it for $500 for mm-hmm. 8 hours, edit all the footage. I just want experience and I need like that, those first couple mm-hmm. ones to kind of get the ball rolling.
It's a good way to like build your portfolio up.
Yeah.
It's like,
you got to drop that ego.
Yeah. Seriously.
You got to drop the ego and just like get in the grind and go. Mm-hmm. And so one of my weddings, it was at the Fox.
Okay.
That is the most beautiful place to get married at. That was so cool. Learned a lot about lighting because if you think about it, it's a theater. Lighting is very odd.
Yeah, it's always unique in theaters.
It was very unique, but that wedding was so cool to film because it was such a moody vibe. They had the Till Death Do Us Part theme.
Oh.
So it was super cool. Wedding after that was at the Ritz-Carlton. So very fancy.
Okay.
So I kind of got lucky in the sense that I got thrown into more of like a higher end budget wedding to be able to, video all of that content.
Yeah, I bet that made for a lot of pretty footage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I'll be completely transparent. I hit a lull from December to June.
Are there a lot of weddings like around that season? Because I know like busy season is kind of like the last 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
But like, are there a lot of people getting married in the winter?
No. That's usually like engagement sessions.
Oh, okay.
Usually
so
that's
you
when you're
propose in the winter, get married in the summer, fall.
Fall is the busiest time.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
It's because like, all the trees start looking all pretty. You're like, everything looks like a movie. Mm-hmm. Like
you're not sweating.
Yeah, unless you live in Missouri for some freaking reason where it's 68 degrees out today.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like, done with this. I'm done with this. I want to be able to wear this. My knees are out right now. You can't see it on camera, but my knees are out because I have to future-proof my outfits for 30 degrees to 70 degrees. Busy season is like the last, or like the mid to last bit of the year. Mm-hmm. So what did you do during the lull?
I kind of was like, do I want to keep doing this? Imposter syndrome. Am I even good at this? I don't want to put myself out there. I didn't even tell people that I really was doing it because I was like, maybe like it's not meant to be.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you were like, I don't want to tell people about this?
Yeah. I have like a tendency to do that. I'm like, I want to like do these skills to even like want to be like, oh, I have this thing, like I can do this.
Yeah.
But I've come full circle where in June I shot actually a high school friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And I was there and all of his groomsmen were all the guys that graduated with high school. And they're like, we didn't even know that you did this or that you were interested in stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I do this. just a hobby.
And that's what I would say is it's just a hobby. Like I'm seeing if I like it. And then it's more just like that muscle memory and getting the confidence and being like, no, like I do like this. I should be proud of what I'm doing. I should tell people. And so after that wedding, it was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there more. I met more photographers. I was asked to be a second shooter for a wedding, couple weddings, and being able to talk to more people and knowing that like, oh, this is normal to feel this way, to have like the imposter syndrome. And like, am I even doing this the right way? You're going to continue to learn every single wedding that you're going to do. Anything you do in life, you're going to continue to learn.
Was there a moment though that like it clicked in your head that you wanted to, like you saw this as an opportunity to actually like be a business?
Last month.
So what was that moment? I mean, was it like an accumulation of things, or was it like there's one distinct time where you realize like, yo, this could be like a business. I could make money from this. I can build a brand out of this. Or was it just like little things along the way?
I'd say little things along the way. And I think it's having conversations with other people who are in the same industry. Because for so long, I wasn't having conversations with other people in the industry. Yeah. And that's why I was having kind of those doubts. And I don't even know if I want to do this. I was in my own little bubble. And then I broke out of that bubble and saw the possibilities, kind of listened to more advice and kind of just, you know, see what's even out there and realizing like, I do really like this. Like I do have a purpose. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. Like it's with weddings, especially like it's such a different industry than like I said, commercial work that I do. Like you can do, you interact with like people's like most insanely like positive moments.
Yeah.
Like
very
this
intimate moments.
This is like, yeah, everybody's like, there's a level of vulnerability that comes with it because like it's their big day. Yeah. You know, like this is the moment that they've been like planning for. This is the moment that they've been ready for. And like, you're here to make a movie out of it. So it's like, I don't know. It's cool though. Cause it's like such a different dynamic and like seeing and witnessing some of this stuff. It's like, I mean, I've only second shot a wedding, so like I don't know like all the crazy details, but like the ones that I've seen, it's like it's been cool just like even just be a part of. Yeah. You know.
And I love love.
Right?
You
like,
have to love if you're doing wedding videos.
You really do.
Yeah.
You really do. Like you can't be like one of those people that's like, oh, love isn't real, or oh my gosh, they're just gonna break your heart. Like you gotta love to do weddings.
Yeah. And to be able to like capture like such a significant moment, like you're never going to forget about your wedding.
Oh yeah.
No matter how it goes, you're never going to forget.
Talk about some of like the struggles that have come with it. Cause like I'm sure that like there have been moments like when you're shooting a wedding or like planning for, you know, how you're going to like execute the production. I'm sure there's been hurdles. Yeah. Cause like in any industry, there are hurdles with this stuff. Yeah. So what was like one of those experiences where you're like, oh crap, this is maybe not ideal?
Probably not what you thought I would say, but getting my name out there.
What?
Because I didn't think for so long, I didn't value what I did as like a job necessarily. It's kind of like, I'm just doing this for fun. Like, I don't want to tell anybody. Okay. So
that makes sense.
I really, over the past couple months after I came around to like talking to other people, and I'm like, it wasn't ever there was never a doubt whether I loved it or not. I always loved it. Did I want to pursue this a lot more than what I was doing just for fun? Yeah. Yes. So at that point I needed to tell people and like actually take it seriously. So at that point, I've really been doing that for the past 6 months, which is even shorter amount of time. Because I was just doing it for fun. Whereas now it's, you know, I view it as doing it part-time. So
would you do it full-time? Have you ever considered doing it full-time?
I've considered it. I also have an issue of work-life balance.
I feel that. I completely understand where you're coming from with that.
So with me, I have to have something that's like 9 to 5, can turn that side off. Then I can have like my passion projects, turn that side off. Then you have like family and friends. If you can squeeze that into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like balancing life is a lot, especially like as an independent freelancer. Like it's a lot. Especially because you have to like just really set that boundary. Yeah. Like yourself. It's like boundary setting is so challenging. I'm like trying to think of a way to put it into words. There are times when I'm like, I'll be sitting there like at 7 o'clock at night and I'm like, I'll just edit. You know, like I'll open up my laptop again. Why not? It's fine. Or like even at midnight, I'm like, oh, I'll just open up the laptop again. It's fine. But like setting that boundary of like, okay, whenever I leave the office, I need to like not do anything related to work. It will be there when I get there tomorrow. Like that's really hard in a freelance aspect. It's a challenge. And I mean, for some people, they're excellent at it. Like they're like, oh, I leave my laptop, my computer, my work phone. It's all here. Like I don't touch it. I'm not one of those people.
No. Well, and I also do social media 9 to 5.
Oh my gosh.
So there is no, it all blends together.
There is no like off.
No.
Because as long as social media is functioning, you are functioning. Yeah. And then weirdly enough, whenever the social media platforms go down, you're like functioning even more.
Oh yeah. Because you're like, oh, well, I could brainstorm X, Y, and Z while this is down.
Yeah.
If I'm not active, well, I need to be brainstorming content ideas.
So what's next?
What's the next concept? What's the next holiday? Oh, I need to plan the marketing plan.
It's never ending in social media.
It never ends.
It kind of makes you like lead to burnout because like you're constantly doing something, constantly creating, conceptualizing and stuff. Like, have you faced burnout personally?
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, if you're in it now, it's fine. Like it's definitely like highs and lows of like, I'm like at the peak of my creativity. And then like, oh my God, I just don't want to do this anymore. I can't even like, click upload on this.
I think it's always going to be an ebb and a flow for me. I don't think there's ever a time where you're going to be constantly on. I think that's why taking PTO is so important and traveling.
Yes.
Because I will say when I go on a trip, I kind of get that inspiration back. Whether it's for my own, creative projects or it's work, it kind of revitalizes that.
It's like refilling your creative tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like going and exposing yourself to a new like place. I agree with that. Like going, even if it is for like, I don't know, just even if it is for like a job, like I still like going other places because it's nice to just get out of your element.
Exactly.
Because kind of like you talked about earlier, it's like being in your own bubble and like being in the same place that like you live at, doing the same routines. Nothing's really getting, shaken up. It gets repetitive and almost like, I hate to say it, but like monotonous.
Yeah.
So like going other places, like being exposed to a different set of people, a different set of, like natural elements and like cultures. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And that goes for friends, that goes for career, that goes for everything.
You got to do new things.
Yeah, you have to put yourself out there. You have to make yourself uncomfortable because you're going to learn from that.
Speaking of learning, how did you learn how to do photo and video?
I did, or I had Adobe classes in college. That was kind of like, actually, no.
Dedicated classes?
Yeah. They were so
Weirdly
much
enough,
fun.
I didn't even have Adobe like dedicated classes in college.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was, we learned like the basics of Lightroom. We learned the basics of InDesign.
Oh, wow.
And then it was...
Those were whole classes?
So both of those were each a semester long.
Yeah.
Or actually I think that was the same class, but like broken up into half. And you would get a prompt. And it's like, okay, well, you have to have X, Y, and Z within your Lightroom. You have to have like the layers separated. You need X, Y, and Z in the layers. Some of the projects that I've come across and I looked back on, like,
you're like, what was I making?
I'm like in a coffee cup, like soaring off of like a palm tree into a tiger's mouth.
Some of those prompts were weird though. Like, okay, I realized also that I totally lied. Like I remembered that I had like an InDesign class. I had that stuff. Memory is bad, but those prompts were also bad. Cause like I actually, I was backing stuff up and I was looking for like old YouTube uploads and I found some of my old like Photoshop, InDesign, Adobe Illustrator files. And I was like, fuck it. Let's see what I did. They were terrible. They were terrible. Like looking back, I know everybody, like when you look back at your first projects, you're like, oh, wow, that's so bad. But no, these were fucking bad. This was just like abysmal. Like I remember making a catalog and it looked like something that I wouldn't even put on the fridge. Like if I would have brought that home to my mom and been like, look what I made, she would have been like, is my money really being well spent?
Trash.
Yeah, no, it belonged in the trash.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have even made a paper airplane out of the printout. I would have just like crumpled it up.
Yeah.
No, it didn't even get to go in the trash can with swag and style. It just needed to go.
But I got an A. That's all that matters.
Oh, I got a B. I got a B, but A's get degrees.
I got plenty of C's. Let's not. Can't pump up that ego too much.
C's get degrees also.
Statistics, not my friend.
No. Math was always my weakest subject. Was math yours too?
Oh, I hated math. Hated math.
I remember being in like classes with freshmen as a senior, and they were all looking at me like, bro,
what is this guy doing here?
What kind of load of this guy? I'm like, I can't do math.
Yeah.
Like they made it sound like it was going to be such a crazy deal when we grew up, but like I don't know, like I was always scared of like a criminal coming up to me and being like, you better solve this y equals mx plus b or I'm going to take all your belongings. Like I've never had that kind of scenario before.
Isn't there something that's called like the
Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've never been,
No.
I haven't gone to like a job interview and they've been like a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Right.
Are these accurate? By the way, I'm gonna need to fact check this. If they're accurate, I might have actually, I might
think
be
that's something.
Holy crap, I might be selling myself short.
I think it's something.
But like once you start throwing like rhombuses and shit
Yeah.
out there, I can't do that. No, rhombi. I don't even know what the plural of that is. But yeah, math is not good.
No.
I just have. There was one time. There was this freaking software though that like you would enter in the things. But I remember sometimes I would enter in the right answer with like the right equation, the right fractions, but it would still say it was wrong. I'm actually going to put up a screenshot because that I found with the Adobe Illustrator files because that's why the memory is so fresh because I'm like, that did happen. I posted it on Facebook and I got real mad about it. Nobody really cared. I think it got 3 likes, but like I was glad to know I wasn't alone.
Facebook is really humbling.
Facebook is humbling. Like, whew. That's because, is anybody really like, do you scroll Facebook like unironically? Do you just like hop on Facebook and you're like, wow.
Sometimes I'm like, what
Like
are the
once a
people I
quarter?
graduated with? What are they up to?
Yeah, like what's
Anybody
going on?
have another kid?
That's what the feed is. It's just all baby announcements.
Anybody else getting married?
Yes. Or like, it's like, oh, we just bought a house and it's like you've been together for 3 months.
Yeah.
Might be a little quick.
Sometimes
That's just
I scroll
my
that.
opinion. But
Usually it's just my mom's post though. Like,
what is with moms and posting like way too much?
anything you want to know, it's on my mom's feed.
Right? Like
Yeah.
my mom posts probably like 8 times a day. And I'm just like,
But I can't tell her that she posts too much because that would break her.
oh, she's going to find out when she watches this that she posts too much.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah, I love you too, Mom. But like, holy crap. Take it easy sometimes. It's okay. Like your screen time on Facebook does not need to exceed like 3 hours a day. At least that's what I picture it being. With how
Could be.
often you post or comment or share or like and react. I don't even know if poking is still a thing, but remember those days?
Hated it.
I hated it
But I
too.
loved it because I was in middle school at the time and I'd be like,
You just pick.
poke,
And then like when people used to play those games all the time too.
Farmtown.
Oh my God. What was it? Farmville? They had like gift cards and stuff
Yeah.
at like Target. And I'm like, who did you spend money on Farmville?
No, I did not.
Oh, thank God. Because
That's
that
where my
was,
parents drew the line.
I'm gonna be honest, I would have judged.
Yeah.
I would have judged if you would have spent, like, because they were like, I would see like, you'd see Chili's and Domino's and Applebee's,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
these places, and then you'd see fucking Farmville out of nowhere, and I'm just like, who is spending their hard-earned money on Farmville. What was there even to pay for?
I think he was.
Did you are you sure you didn't provide Farmville with compensation in exchange for unlockable items and stuff?
No, but it's kind of like every other computer game.
Yeah.
Like what's the like Xbox games? Like
With like
Fortnite. You can buy like extra like gear for that.
So they're the ones that made it hip.
Yeah.
Okay. I still don't understand it. I know that like now there's like farming simulator.
Did you play Zoo Tycoon or like Roller Coaster
Oh my God.
Tycoon?
Yeah.
That was my shit.
Alongside Sims, of course. Like that was in the rotation.
Yeah.
But like I didn't do Sims as much.
I wasn't like too into Sims.
Some people are like really crazy about it.
Some people are still into it.
So yes, like they still play it religiously today. And it's like, I don't know, Sims is like in a way, it's like one of those things. It's like Taylor Swift. You like the people that are crazy about it are crazy about it. Are you a Swiftie? Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Holy crap, you are a Swiftie.
So it's my dad's handwriting.
Okay. So that's valid.
Yeah.
But like,
and it has other meanings.
yeah, I'm sure there's like layers to
Yes. Like every
It's not just
tattoo
like-
should be.
that. I thought you were going to like start like pulling up sleeves and all of a sudden you just have like a whole bunch of lyrics everywhere.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a psycho.
Some people are like
I'm
that.
not on the level, like there's levels to a Swiftie.
There's scary levels to a Swiftie.
There are.
Like-
I'm on the level of like, I love Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I love the Kansas City Chiefs. So I am thriving right now.
We're getting into it.
I'm thriving.
Okay, so what do you think about this Taylor Swift?
They're getting married.
You think they're getting married? Do you think this is Endgame?
She sang Endgame.
You know,
that was one of the surprise songs.
Oh shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, see, I'm not caught up with my Taylor lore. I've been a Chiefs fan. I know of Travis's accomplishments. He's been great for a while. And I've never been the biggest fan of Taylor Swift. Go ahead and cancel me. But you think I could see it. Like just from my unprofessional opinion, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see them being like something that's longer term. I don't know if it's like this is the finale type deal, but like I don't know. What do you think?
So here are my thoughts.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
First of all, they're on the same playing field.
Okay. The Chiefs, oftentimes, yeah. If he's there, they got to be on the same team.
She is able to go and support him and be able to like be the girlfriend. He is able to go to her sold out shows and be the boyfriend, be the supportive boyfriend.
Yeah.
They're also another key thing. Taylor is very strategic about when I'm going to sound like a psychopath here.
Well, I mean,
it's
kind of like PR and stuff, you know? It's like
she's
have to be.
She's very strategic about when she's seen and who she's seen with.
Okay.
There were quite a few years that she was not seen. She didn't want to be seen. She could have. She didn't want to.
She's like, okay.
She is in her happy era. She is a billionaire. She's seen out with her
Quite
friends.
literally.
She's seen out with Travis a lot. There's also, she's never publicly shown PDA with another boyfriend, except for, like the paparazzi shots of way back when.
Yeah.
She knows that she's seen when she runs backstage because in a stadium, there's audiences 360 around that stage.
Everywhere.
She knows what she was doing. And if you see in that video, Travis stands there with his hands behind his back because he's like, I'm going to let Taylor lead. I'm going to let her decide how we show the public what's happening. She beelines it for Travis.
Yeah.
That kiss happened.
It did. Do you think it was like a PR thing or you think it was genuine?
Genuine.
You think it's real? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want to believe, like you said, we got to love. I want to believe it's good. But at the same time, there's always that part of me that's like, is this just a PR stunt? Is this just like something for the look? Because people are like hyper focused.
Yeah, but if anything, it's more, don't get me wrong. I know Travis is well
Yeah,
known in the NFL. That's no doubt.
He's got his own life. She has her own life.
Correct. But in comparison between the two, he has more gain from it than she does. If you're looking at it from like a PR perspective.
Yeah, if we're looking at it just from like awareness and clout and like all that stuff.
She doesn't need the clout.
She doesn't need it. She is like literally like this could be arguably like the peak.
Yeah.
Like this is the height. And it's still getting higher. No pun intended on new heights, but she's reaching new heights.
Yeah. I think she's just actually genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And that's why it seems like more in our face.
Yeah.
And he's also more vocal.
Yeah. And I mean, they were both like still very much so like prominent in the spotlight in their own right before they got together. So it's like now it's like everything is just like combined. So everything's just, there's like a hyper focus. Cause I'm like every third, this is why I don't scroll on Facebook that much right now, because every third post is like, oh my God, it's Travis Taylor. It's trailer yeah, whatever.
Like the little ads that pop up from like Chiefs Fan Nation or.
Yeah. It's always some random. We have the same.
We probably
algorithm.
have the same like.
We're probably seeing the
algorithm.
same posts. Yeah, like the whole meta thing is like, nah. They prepped us for this. Like I didn't even need to prep for the show because Meta prepped us. So yeah, it's been the same type of content, and it is kind of annoying because it's like in your face.
I think they're the. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna die when I can't think of his name. Beckham.
Oh,
they're the Beckham and Victoria Adams of our time. Because Victoria was in Spice Girls. Mm-hmm. They were both at like the top level.
It was a very high moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean...
It's obviously different.
Yeah, but I feel like they kind of just want like the spotlight off of them too.
Yeah. Because
like... It's the people that are making it to be like a really massive deal. And they're like, yeah, it's just, I feel like they just kind of want to be left to do their thing.
Yeah.
Because like we said, like they both have their own lives. They're both list of accomplishments. Just let them be happy together.
Yeah. I think it's also just like too much. It feels like too much because there are a lot of people who are Swifties who are too much. And it's like, that is their entire identity.
I know a few people like that.
And they are like so engulfed, and like her fan base is very strong. I mean, you can see from the entire like Eras tour. Yeah. The Eras, the concert movies. Mm-hmm. They are like tried and true. So. Oh
my gosh. I've seen some of the clips of the concert movie and like how they parade around my thing is like, how do y'all not hear this like if I'm watching like a horror movie next door, I'm hearing that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It's just, or like if I'm watching. It's kind of
cute.
Is it? I mean, good for them.
It depends on, hot take, it depends on your age. I went with my cousins and she brought her daughter who is 6.
Valid. I would say valid.
That was sweet and pure. Yes. They're like giving each other friendship bracelets in the movie theater. Yeah. They're asking if they want to like go dance down at the bottom. That's cute. If you are my age and you are dancing on the bottom of that movie theater, I'm judging you.
Oh, yeah. Like, let the kids enjoy it.
Let the kids enjoy it.
Like, this is their childhood. I'm not here to smack talk, but like.
You stay in your seat.
Just enjoy. Just be like, this, like, just take it all in. Like, let them dance, let them parade. But at the same time, though, like, be aware that it's a movie theater. Like, don't be yelling and screaming and going crazy, banging on the walls.
No.
Like,
no.
I don't know. But I do think the aspect of having that movie was cool because it, like people that didn't get to go to the concert, they did get to experience some type of, I guess, the energy and the feel from that. Yeah. Like that I think is cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I don't know what the proper venue for that would have been.
I don't know.
Or like have it like have one night where it's like in addition to like other showings, but like have one night that like every screening is that. Have that kind of experience. I think that would have been cool to see. And that probably could have happened, at some other theater outside of whatever. But like, I think it would have been cool if like the whole thing would have just been the same screening, the same time, make an event out of it. And then if she would have popped up, that would have been like a core memory for everybody. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, hopefully you guys thoroughly enjoyed this podcast because unfortunately we have to wrap. So thank you for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
This was a huge insight into the wedding industry and just kind of like your process and like how you got started in this. And then we even got to talk about the hottest couple out there right now, the ones that's like hitting headlines, doing all these crazy things.
If Taylor sees this, I love you. Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for
all
what
of
you
the
do.
years.
I'm just not. Great. I have any of your songs in my playlist. Not one. But I know people that do. But I have a lot of respect for what you do.
Listen to Blank Space. That's like the most like pop culturally like.
I remember that song.
One. Yeah.
I remember it was
Slaps.
Like it would always be on when I would be in the gym in college. For some reason, that song would always be on like twice during my workout session. But it wasn't a bad song, I'll be honest. It was pretty catchy. The beat was pretty good. It was like boom, cool. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You can I'll link all your socials, all your stuff in the show notes and description below. And be sure to hit the subscribe button before you head out. And if you're listening, then just follow the show if you don't already. But hit the subscribe button. Let's get those numbers up. Come on now. Please. Yeah. Help me. All right? I'm trying to win. I don't know when I'm trying to win, but I'm trying to win. I'm trying to get a plaque here. This is a functional fireplace. Isn't that crazy? But I have not turned it on yet.
You got to turn it on for your next guest and have just like
a nice little flutter.
Yeah.
We got to do like a holiday episode and then like see if this.
You need to dress up as Santa.
I'll dress up as Santa. I did it when I worked at Old Navy. They had me be the Santa.
There you go.
And I don't know what decision that was because like I didn't want to be Santa, but like I did it just because why not? Leave a review and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.